Hi, this is Dustine from Two Lucky Cats. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a sparkling heart mobile. First, I'll show you how to assemble the sparkling heart. From the pattern that you'll find that comes with this video, take the larger heart pattern and cut out two of the larger hearts out of felt. Then use the smaller heart and center it in the middle of one side of each of the hearts and trace around it. The purpose for this is when you do your beading, you should keep your beads along no further than this line. You can bead on the line and inside the heart because it'll give you room around the edges to stitch when you want to sew the two hearts together. The next thing we're going to do is bead the front side of both of the hearts. And the beads that I've used here are size 10 seed beads, and they're a sparkly type. You can use these or some other type. If you want, you can use the bigger bead. And let me just show you. I just use the running stitch. I start underneath, and then I just come up, get a bead, and then go back close to where I came up. And the beads look like they're floating because the stitching is underneath the long stitch. And how far apart you want to make it is really up to your preference. So you just continue on until you cover one side of both of the hearts. In the next step, I'll show you how to make the butterfly. Get the butterfly pattern from the information sheet and use it to cut out 2 felt butterflies and 4 of these decorative pieces. The next thing you're going to do is sew these decorative pieces onto one side of each butterfly. And I use these little sparkly size 10 seed beads. You can use those if you can find them, or some other type, whatever you prefer. And I started to sew right here at this point, and you just, again, like you did for the sparkling heart, come up from underneath, get a bead, go down very close, and you're using the running stitch, and underneath is where you're going to come up about 1/4 of an inch away, and then add another bead. And you're going to do this all the way around here and then back to where you started. Now, if you'd like, you can just use stitching if you don't want to use beading. Or another thing you could do is use a bead and then make a stitch on the top and then come up and do another bead around. And you want to do this with all 4 of these decorative pieces to one side of each butterfly. Now, another thing that I did, and I'll show you here on the finished butterfly, I used a chain stitch and just stitched up the center here of each butterfly. If you don't want to do that, you can just use a running stitch, maybe with a little thicker thread so you can see it better, or you can stitch and bead it like we did here, or you can just leave it plain. The next step is to sew the 2 pieces together to form the butterfly. So we're going to put the undecorated sides, match the 2 undecorated sides together, and then we're going to start stitching with the overcast stitch. And we want to start right here where the 2 wings come together. And we just continue to stitch using the overcast stitch. And we'll do that around the butterfly and stop right about here, because I think it's easier if you just stuff this side of the wing with fiber fill. Then try to make a bigger stitch here so you leave a little space for the tapestry needle to go through when you're going to string the mobile together, and then continue on till about here. Then stuff the other side of the wing, or the other wing, and then continue on till you're finished. And just make sure you have just a little opening here between where you started and where you stopped, so you can fit the tapestry needle through. Now I'm going to demonstrate the final step in this project, putting everything together. Now the last step is to put together the mobile. Now the first thing is you need some kind of a string. You can use, this is a crochet, a piece of crochet cotton that's a little thicker that I hand dyed, but you can use like a baker's twine, or you can just use twine like jute twine that you can probably find in the dollar store. It just has to be a little bit bigger to hold the different elements together. Now when we string the felt pieces together, you're going to have to use a tapestry needle, and this is a metal needle, and this one's about 2.5 inches long, and you need to have an eye large enough for whatever string that you use to fit through. The other good thing about it is it has a blunt needle, so it's going to be easier to push it through. It still might get stuck or go through the felt, so just make sure you straighten it up so you can go straight through the butterfly and the heart. So you can either get the metal ones, or these will also work. These are children's sewing needles. Now, the first bead that I used had a loop on it, so I just put it through there and knotted it a couple times. But you can just use a plain bead. And the first thing you want to do is put a knot in the bottom of your string. The other thing is you have to find, get beads that have a hole that is big enough for the string to go through. You don't want to have a hole that's too big, because if it's too big and you make your knot, the purpose of the knot is to hold the bead in place, and if the hole's too big, it's going to slide right over the knot. So all you have to do is thread it through like that. And then just make another knot on top of it. To kind of hold it in place in the top. And then you just put, if you want to put another bead for decoration, and then I just put a little bead right below the butterfly to help hold the butterfly in place. Then, of course, when you want to take the needle or string the butterfly, you just have to, put your needle on and take it straight through and up, and then you can put another knot, maybe a couple more decorative beads with knots in between them. And again, I put a knot right below the heart to hold it up, and then I took this straight up through the heart. Now, you might find that when you're trying to find at the bottom hole, you're trying to find it. If you can't find it, just go through the top, because the top hole will be bigger because you stopped stitching here and you started over here and stopped there. So just put it straight down through and see where it comes out, and then go back in and go back in the other way and pull it through. So I found that really worked easily to get the needle through the two felt pieces. When you do the heart, then you can just put another knot in, maybe another decorative bead, and then you're just going to make a loop that you can hang it from. And with that, if it's too long, you can always cut it off. It's better to have it too long than too short. So you can just make your loop and put it around and just tie a knot there. And you can always tie or cut this piece off if you have this piece hanging down. And that completes the project. I hope you enjoyed doing this project with us today. Just to remind you, this is not a toy, so keep it away from small children and babies, because these beads are a little bigger. They could be a potential choking hazard. If you have any questions or comments about this project, go to our Facebook page and leave some kind of a comment. It's Two Lucky Cats. Or if you have a question, or go to our website, twoluckycats.com. I hope you come back and see us soon, see if there's any more projects you might want to do. Until next time, this is Dustine.